Good morning, everyone. How you doing? It's a great week. The humidity seems to be gone a little bit, so we are happy to join you this morning. So, Soul Meets Strategy. I am Diana Lidstone. Yeah, we have a story about this.
Yeah.
And I'm a growth strategist. And next to me over here, my master partner in crime is Denise Frenette. And she is a soul synergist and life transformational coach. And this morning we're going to talk about a couple of things, but our general talk is going to continue this conversation about money that we started last week. And last week, right, Denise, we talked about money blocks and spendy Wendy's and different money archetypes and that sort of thing. And if you missed it, please go ahead and you can catch it on my YouTube channel, or you can scroll back down through on our Facebook. But it is there for you for sure. So if you are joining us, good morning. Good morning. So Denise, what is the story about my name?
So Linda, I was just, wait a minute. Okay, so from the first day that, actually it's even before we met. Because I noticed you on social media, and every time I'd look you up again, I'd be looking for Linda, and I'm like, what's her name? And if anybody follows me on Facebook, I recently put a post about my memory names. Anyway, you could go back and look at it. But every time I would look up Diana, I would always be looking up Linda, and and I'd always end up finding Diana. So anyway, the first time we met up in person, I believe I called you Linda, and then we met at your home to strategize and talk about stuff. And again, I'm like, what's up with this? And I told you, every time I see you, I feel like calling you Linda. And to my surprise, you said,
many people have called me Linda over the years, and they meet me. I introduce myself as Diana, and they go, "Oh, yeah, Linda." And I go, "I don't get it." Right?
and last week I was talking about you to a client of mine, and I was just saying, hey, join us in the backstage. And she's like, yep, perfect, with Linda. And at first I looked at her and I was in shock. She goes, every time I see her, I always think her name is Linda. So I don't know, maybe a past life of some sort. I have no idea.
I just got shivers.
Yeah. And maybe you were
A Linda. There we are.
Who knows?
But for those of you watching, my husband introduces me as, you ready? Princess Diana. So that's, I am Diana. So there we are. Good. And before we dive into our money conversation this morning, we want to talk about our backstage pass.
Yeah.
And the reason why this is important. Okay. So, whoops. There we are. You want to take it away. Why is registering for our backstage pass so important?
So next Thursday is our 10th episode. And what's also going on next Thursday is we're going to have a masterclass. Diana and I are 3 p.m. next Wednesday is our free masterclass. 1 hour with both of us. Okay. And we're going to be talking about different things, a lot of the stuff that we've actually talked about during our podcasts, but why you are feeling, let's say, stuck, because it is a word that we hear a lot, and all of that. Now, to access this free masterclass, you got to register. You got to register to the backstage that we're offering. It's easy. You register and you get to have a few freebies. You get to take advantage of what Diana and I offer. And this free masterclass is part of it. And this is next Thursday, being offered at 3 p.m., 3 till 4 p.m. So by all means, just register and you get to take part of this. That's why it is important to register in what we call our backstage.
That's right. That's right. So
Yeah.
it's going to be, I'm going to repeat this. And I am also going to put it in the comments about
Yes.
the August 21st
Yep.
free
Yeah.
master class, 3 p.m. But you must register for our VIP back. Oh, I can't spell this morning. Backstage.
And by the way, we're going to be offering other really interesting stuff while with you during our master class. And so again, just join us. We're really nice people, and
And we won't bite. We won't bite.
and we've got some really good information to share. And there you go.
And things that will really help your business. So anyway, let's talk about money again.
Mhm.
So last week, as I said, we talked about money beliefs and how they can be money blocks, and now they can hold us back from, raising our prices. They can hold us back from, making offers. They can hold us back from a lot of things. And so today we want to talk about cash flow. And the reason that cash flow is so important is that, drum roll, please, the reason most businesses fail is from lack of cash flow.
Mhm.
Cash flow is the money that's coming in and the money that's going out, and how you monitor this over time. It's not just, at a one point in your business. It's something that you need to be monitoring all the time. And so you have a good analogy, I think, Denise.
So when we were talking about cash flow, it really and just the sound of it having a really, really good and balanced kind of cash flow. I don't know, just the thought of it makes me just want to breathe and relax and feel grounded. And it made me think of when you have good spiritual habits, when you have good overall lifestyle habits that allow you to give, allows you to receive properly. It's all in relation to having that good flow and that good balance and good habits. And so long term, so that when things get a bit more difficult, if you've got a good flow to your life, okay, a good cash flow, good flow of habits and all of that, when things do get a little bit more challenging, like, I don't know, pandemics, okay, and things like that, you're better equipped. There is a better there are more opportunities for you to come out victorious with that ability to survive those humps, those dips uh, in what we experience. And so if you're able to have good cash flow, that's what it actually brings.
That's
And
right.
absolutely, just same for, it's like breathing oxygen to your body, bring in the oxygen. And I know you're thinking, oh God, she's going to talk about breathing exercises and all of that. Freaking right I am.
Okay. Okay. And I'm
Yes.
going to talk about marketing.
Yeah. No, the reason being is 2 days ago, I was having one of those days that were a little challenging to me. And I was doing a lot and I had a lot to do. And something happened that disrupted my day, my beautiful flow. And I am telling you, and it took about a half hour ish for me to really clue in that that I was off. That was it. My day was not going to go the way I planned it. Anyone who knows me understands that I like things planned a
Oh, you
certain.
like structure. You like
I
structure.
do, I do. And my structure was gone
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
day. And I had to take a moment to go back to certain habits of breathing, grounding myself, and understanding that I've got this. Okay. And once I did that, I thought, okay, Now I can continue. I had more clarity and I was able to continue. So this cash flow thing, that's what it allows you to do. So when things go off, or when you get this great opportunity that costs a bit of money that you're able to reinvest in business or whatever it is, that cash flow, that's what it allows.
Yeah.
And
I
when
think,
you,
yeah,
yeah,
I love that analogy, the breathing. We need a certain amount of oxygen. Well, our businesses need a certain amount of money.
yeah,
And, a lot of people talk about, in order to keep a certain amount of cash flow, they talk about expenses and monitoring expenses. And it's true, you need to do that. I mean, very often we'll see, or I will see entrepreneurs or small business owners that, maybe they've got a couple of subscriptions to things that tech, let's say, that they don't really need. Whereas they could simplify it by just having one subscription to one thing. Anyway, we have to watch where the money goes, outflows. But I want to also talk about how the money comes in. So the money comes in through, and you need three systems. You need marketing, and everybody rolls their eyes, it goes marketing, yeah. And you need sales, you need a sales system, and everybody groans about, I don't like sales, I don't like marketing. But what you do like is the third system is you like the delivery of your service. Okay. But in order to get the money to come in, think of those three systems as interlocking. Okay, so you've got marketing, sales, and delivery. But and I call that your revenue growth engine. But really, the money coming in, there's very few businesses that can just sit back and wait for referrals or people to reach out to them if they are not visible, right? If you're hiding in your office,
absolutely.
Lab, it's rare that, somebody's going to come literally knocking at your door. So you need to get out there and you need to market yourself. And when your marketing isn't dialed in, when your messaging isn't dialed in, when you haven't got your products or your pricing dialed in, then you don't have enough sales conversations. And so if you're not having enough sales conversations, ask yourself, oh, what could I do to improve my marketing so I can improve my sales conversations? If you're having enough sales conversations and you're not closing enough, prospects into clients, then ask yourself, what is going on in my sales process that I'm not converting those numbers of people? So very often I'll ask a client, what's your sales conversion rate? And they kind of look at me and go, my what? Okay, so if you have 10 sales conversations, your sales conversion rate is, and if you close 5 out of 10, your sales conversion rate is 50%. Okay. Yeah. So your sales conversion rate should be higher than 50%. If it's lower than 50%, then something needs to happen. That means either you are getting leads that are not qualified for your program, they're not ready, there's a whole bunch of things. So that means go back to your marketing, right?
Or review the product as well.
Yeah, well, your product is part of that marketing. So we talk about marketing and the 6 P's of marketing. You've got the people, right? Who is your ideal target market? What do they look like? What do they think? What do they see? You've got, the price, because price impacts. You've got your product or service. You've got how you're going to promote it. You've got one of the big things that people don't realize in marketing, they have to talk about we call it a promise. What are you promising that working with you will bring them. In other words, what is the result and what is the outcome, right? So being really clear on that is going to help not only your marketing, but it's going to help you convert more people, which is going to bring more money into your business,
Yeah. I
which
have
means
an
more cash flow.
So I have a question for you, actually, Diana, because this is your expertise. And so cash flow is going in and out. Flow
Mhm.
means in and out, which
Correct.
means spending,
Mhm.
cash going out. I know that some businesses have a really hard time with that. And I know that if you have a team, if you have employees and all of that, there's that, how much of a percentage, I don't know how to really ask it, but how much of a percentage should be reinvested, let's say, in spoiling the team, in going out, in whatever it is, you know what I
Ah,
mean by that?
yeah,
What is that? Like, because
it's like
is that
a bonus you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
and
hard
all
to
of
yeah, that's hard to say.
it.
Um,
Because I know I was challenged with that long time ago when I owned my clinics
yeah,
and I was making a certain amount of money
yeah,
and I had no problems reinvesting in product or marketing or whatever it was. But it was tough it's tough because this is money, surplus money
it's
that,
called profit.
yeah, reinvesting in
Yeah,
that sense.
yeah.
And
I'll answer it.
sometimes I would overdo it, and other times I wouldn't do it enough when I was hurting a little bit more.
Yeah,
And so that's all part of cash flow.
right. So
Yeah.
I'll answer it this way, is that if you have a team, how does your team member, whether it's an employee or a consultant, how does that team member know that they are doing a good job?
Yeah.
So that's the first question. And that question leads to, how are they contributing to the vision of the company?
Mhm.
And do they know how they're doing a good job by contributing to that? Which means each team member, and I had this discussion with a new client yesterday, each team member should have a metric, a number that they are responsible for. So, even the CEO. So, let me share with you an example. I had a lawyer as a client, many team members, and her metric for her as the CEO was how many speaking engagements did she do in 90 days? And she had a target. And that's how she knew she was doing a good job. Why? Because every time she went out and spoke, she got new leads and new
That's
clients.
right. Yeah.
Okay. So that moved the business forward. That was her number. Somebody else's number might be, how long did it take you to do X, Y, and Z? Or how many emails are left in my inbox? Or whatever it is, but what number, what metric do they have that as a result, A, moves the team to moves the business towards the vision and allows them to understand that they are doing a good job. That's not an easy number always to come up with. Yeah.
No. And it's funny because I don't you have you heard of the 5 love languages?
Yes.
Multitude of books, right? They
Right.
have it's a whole series of it. And they have one for business owners, employers, and all of that. And I read it a long time ago, and it really it really got me to understand people on a whole other level, in regards to how do we speak to them and how do we relate to them in these different languages. And I knew that when I started applying that with my employees, with my coworkers, my team, it really made a difference when I actually was able to key in and understand what's their love language. Do they like, some people just want money, like they
Yeah,
just want to
exactly.
receive.
Yep.
Perfect. Other people need words of affirmation. Oh,
Ex-
thank you so much. You're
You're
incredible.
doing a great job, yada, yada. Yeah.
Yes, and then there's acts of kindness and all of that.
Hmm.
And when you spoke of cash flow, okay,
Hmm.
it actually made me think of that a bit in a different way on how we utilize different ways to create a flow, something that is consistently good, and that is consistently there. And there's a lot of different ways. Of course, you have to look at so many things. And so, of course, I want to bring it back to us as people,
Hmm.
uh, and how we interact with our team, and all of these things play a role on how how they're going to show up,
That's
how
right.
they're going to show
How
up
they're going
as
to perform, how they're going to be, how
productivity, and
efficient,
that
productivity. Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
that makes a huge difference on productivity, on how focused they're going to be. And so there's a lot of different ways to look at this, how
Yeah.
to reassure cash flow, right?
Yeah.
So there's different aspects to look at on how to view it.
Yeah.
Um, and all of these aspects are important, are key
One of my this is a digression slightly, but it's still part of the same thing. One of my clients recently was talking about how their team members were having trouble focusing. So productivity was, I would not productivity, efficiency, and there
Yes.
was low, and mistakes were being made. And the problem was, from my understanding, is that the team was in an open office space. So the
Okay.
phone would ring, somebody would get distracted, somebody would come in and go to the showroom and they would distracted, another conversation was happening, and they actually bought the team members noise canceling headphones
Oh, what a great idea.
so that they could focus. I don't know what noise canceling headphones cost these days,
I I don't know either.
but a really good investment. Right? Not
Yeah.
something ordinary that you would think of that would help your business move forward.
Absolutely, and I don't think I would have thought of that.
No, I did, yeah. So,
But
you know,
but
yeah, exactly. So we have to make sure if we're talking about cash flow, is your marketing system working? Is it bringing you not only new leads, but qualified leads? Because I
yeah,
always tell my clients it's not about getting more clients. It's never about more clients. It's about better clients.
mhm,
That's what's going to move your business forward. Better clients that pay you more, et cetera, yada, yada. But also, how many of your leads that you have can you keep engaged? So, for instance, we're asking for engagement for our upcoming masterclass, right?
that's right. Yeah.
Those of you who are watching, you are leads. But can we engage you to participate in our upcoming masterclass and training? Or, what about in an email? Maybe you've got thousands of people on your email list, but can you get them to take action? That's something that's really important.
And
Another thing that I want people to remember, how many offers are you making in a week?
mhm,
How many times are you speaking to someone and you say, "Oh, I can help you with that"?
yeah, so simple.
Yeah, doesn't have to be complicated.
And I think another huge aspect is where are the cracks? Where is the money going?
Leaking. Yep.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
Um, because I think, because a lot of people, I get a lot of clients telling me, Denise, you don't get it, I'm broke, or there's no way I can afford this. And then we start looking at details, okay, and I find out, okay, they're mortgage free. Wow, that's amazing.
It
Okay,
is.
or yes, or I find out they've got 3 credit cards going, and there's like over, I don't know, 5,000 on one, 7,000 on another,
Yeah.
3,000 on another. I know. And they're paying their minimum. They're paying
Yeah.
the minimum. Yet, okay, they've got money for restaurants, they've got money for this, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. New cars, new this, new that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Going on
So
vacation.
when you get yourself, when you find yourself a good business coach, a strategic coach, a life coach, whatever it is, what these people do, they come in and they make you realize, wait a minute, what if you could save a little bit by paying this off a little quicker? And we bring in strategy, we bring in, well, I bring in ideas of why is it that there's so much here and not here, and so on and so forth. So really understanding the concept of where is the money going is so important, because a lot of people don't understand or don't even really pay attention or realize this cash flow
Yep.
going in and going out, and what it truly means, and how it could be detrimental to having an awesome business, awesome life, and or not.
So I remember either reading or somebody telling me this. You know what is important to somebody by where they spend their money by looking at their credit card bill.
Okay.
So if you look at somebody's credit card bill, for instance, and it's all full of restaurants, that's what they consider important because that's where their money is going.
Yeah.
Right. But I also, when I'm talking to business owners, where are you spending your time?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you consider important.
Yeah.
And where, are you spending your time and or money on growth activities or maintenance mode activities? So growth activities are those activities that move your business forward, or CEO level activities, as I like to call them. But maintenance mode activities are just those activities that are just keeping your head above water.
Yeah.
And you can't grow a business if you are constantly in those maintenance mode activities. You need to be out there marketing and doing sales. And yeah,
And
it's
so,
not,
yeah.
it's not the, I've said this many, many, many times. It's not the best person. No, it's not the most expert person who gets the sale.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody could be the best life coach ever and they wouldn't get the sale. The person who would get the sale is the person who's out there doing the marketing.
That's right.
And so
So,
your job as a business owner is to become the best marketer that you can be.
so we touched on a lot today.
Yeah,
Just kind of, it just went, because cash flow is complicated.
it is.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's got a lot of, it's not, there's nothing white or black. There's a lot of gray areas. And I know we're going to touch on some of that, obviously, at in our master class, and we're going to talk about stuff like that. And we're really going to dive into it when we actually talk about the program. Okay. That then we're looking at real in-depth details. Okay. Now, with that said, I want to mention next week. Okay, so we do absolutely have our 3 p.m. masterclass next Thursday. You want to be part, it's free. You want to be part of it, just register to our VIP backstage and you're in. Okay. Now, we have our podcast, of course, at 11:30 next Thursday. And we're going to talk about loneliness. Loneliness.
That's right.
And Tuesday of this week, I already mentioned I had a bit of a challenging day because my perfectly planned freaking day went, and so I found myself before regrounding, before breathing, and kind of just recollecting my thoughts and all of that. I sat here literally at my desk and I felt lonely. And that's happened before. Of course, when I owned my businesses, who can I reach out and just say, oh my God, right? And it's not always easy. When
No.
you're running a business, an entrepreneur, it's not like you could go up to your boss and say, oh, you know what? I need a
I
week
need a
off.
timeout. Yeah, I need a
I need
timeout.
a
Yeah.
timeout. No, because you're it.
Yeah.
This is it. It ends right here with you. And so this loneliness is is real. And there are ways to deal with that as a business owner, as a CEO. There are ways to help with this loneliness
Yeah.
that you can encounter
Yeah.
as a boss, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay.
As an
Um,
empowered CEO, because
yes.
yeah.
And that's what we want to talk about next week, is how to deal with that, and how to change this loneliness into something that actually feeds you, that actually helps you focus and reconnect. And we want to talk about that next Thursday, August 21st. And I'm really looking forward, I think, to talking about that, because it's something real.
Yeah.
And it affects all CEOs, all business owners, absolutely. And what do we do about it?
That's
Right.
right. So please join us, those of you who have joined us today and multiple times. We really want to express our gratitude.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate, we love doing this, a little bit of banter back and forth. So we will see you next Tuesday, same time, same station. Take care,
Absolutely.
everyone. Bye.